Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where in the world you're tuning in from. We'll just give everybody a moment to come into the Zoom room and get settled. Thank you so much for your patience as we get started here. Just before we officially begin, most people are probably by this point familiar with Zoom, but if you're not, there's some buttons at the bottom bar where you can chat with us. For the session, your microphones have been muted, but if you want to engage, of course, we love to hear from you with questions or comments. So if you want to type them in the chat throughout the session, that would be much appreciated, and we will get to them when we can. And then there's also the reactions function if you want to use that as well. We love to see thumbs ups and all sorts of things, so feel free to use that. To kick us off, if you want to pop in the chat maybe where in the world you're tuning in from. I'm in Victoria, BC. We love to talk about the weather here, so maybe also let us know where or what the weather is when where you are. And to begin us off in a good way, we like to acknowledge our traditional lands at Royal Roads University. So we acknowledge that the campus is located on the traditional lands of the Lekwungen-speaking peoples, today represented as the Songhees and Esquimalt First Nations. It is with gratitude that we are able to now learn and work here, where the past, present, and future of Indigenous and non-Indigenous students, staff, and faculty come together. So thank you all so much for joining us, and thanks for being here. Now, to start us off today, of course, you're all here to tune into some information for the Doctor of Business Administration program. My name is Ariana Konjerski. I'm an education specialist here at Royal Roads University, and it's always a delight to be on the webinar with Dr. Hassan Wafai, who is the program head of the DBA program. Hi, Hassan. Thanks for being here. And just a little agenda.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Over to you for the agenda.
Thank you so much. Just an agenda for today. Of course, we're getting to know one another now in the chat and on the call. I'm just going to give us a little brief overview of the Royal Roads University experience before we get started. Of course, Hassan's going to take us through some program-specific information, and then I will chat about some application process and requirements, and then questions throughout. Feel free to pop those in the chat. Now, if you're not familiar with our location at Royal Roads University, we are in Victoria, BC. So just some quick facts about Victoria and the surrounding area. Population of Canada. Our closest large cities are Vancouver and Seattle. And the top 3 industries in Victoria are advanced technology, tourism, hospitality, and education. I'm proud to say and share that we are one of the mildest climates in Canada. So we have about a 6°C winter and a 25°-ish summer. So it's quite beautiful here all year round. And then as far as awards, Victoria has won many awards. So we're ranked #1 Canada's Best Small Cities by bestcities.org in 2022. And then Best Islands in North America and top 20 Best Small Cities in the world as well. The list keeps growing, so it's hard to keep it up to date, but many awards for Victoria. So it's a wonderful place to be. Now, to chat a little bit about our Royal Roads campus and our space, you may recognize some of these photos here, especially the top left photo. That is our Hatley Castle. It's quite a famous movie set, as you may have seen, things like X-Men and Deadpool. Those were filmed on location here at Royal Roads, so very cool. We also have a number of green spaces and gardens. So just to the right of that, you'll see a photo of our Japanese garden in the fall. So quite beautiful. Many more gardens and trails to explore as well. The bottom left, that is Esquimalt Lagoon. So that is a migratory bird sanctuary that we have on campus. One of my favorite places to go for a walk, get some fresh air when I'm on campus. And then the bottom right is just an homage to our online learning. Royal Roads is really a pioneer in online learning. We've been doing that for over 25 years. It's not a recent thing for us, and it's really part of who we are as an institution. And if you're wondering why you would explore Royal Roads University in comparison to other institutions, Royal Roads, we really have an emphasis on seeing life as a qualification. So we know that throughout life, not just in school, there's many things that you learn, and we really try to bring that into the classroom. Of course, professors who know your name, you're way more than just a student number to us. And then really building that learning based on life experiences. and building those connections for life. We have a cohort model at Royal Road, so you're traveling with kind of the same group throughout your time here, and it allows you to really build those deep professional connections and rely on those people, hopefully later in your career and later in life. And then we like to think from day one we were built differently. I mentioned the online and blended learning piece, but that's something that really started us off from day one. So we like to think that from day one we were quite different in comparison to other institutions. And we're also proud to be an Ashoka U Changemaker campus. And with that, I will pass us off to Dr. Hassan Wafai, who's going to talk about the program structure of the DBA program. Hassan.
Thank you very much, Ariana. Thank you. I would like also to acknowledge our colleague Tracy and Ian here supporting us. Thank you, Tracy, and thank you, Ian. So colleagues, thank you for joining. As Ariana said, my name is Hassan Wafai. I'm the DBA program head. I'm also associate professor at the School of Business, Faculty of Management here at Royal Road University. So what is Doctor of Business Administration, DBA? Doctor of Business Administration at Royal Road is a very unique program, unique to British Columbia, but also unique to Canada. DBA program is a doctoral program. It's a research-based or research-intensive doctoral program oriented to applied business and management research. So the focus is on applied research. The design of the program allows the blended design allow working professional to do their studies without putting their work on hold. So you don't really need to leave your job, leave your family to do your doctorate. So the program allow that flexibility. The unique part of the program, it's that the DBA program, since it's a research intensive, it integrates the applied and professional orientation of professional doctorate with the rigor of conventional PhD program. So for those who are interested in doing PhD, DBA program will be a very good option for them because it does deliver the rigor of PhD, and it also allows you to enter into academia. But also for those who would like to stay in the industry, DBA program also help you to stay in the industry and give you the currency to speak as a subject matter expert. The key reason actually why DBA was designed, that the conventional PhD program does not it does not prepare graduates to work beyond academia. This is one of the reasons. So in Canada, for example, around 80% of PhD graduates end in a faculty track position. That means they need to go to work in the industry for some time, and perhaps they come back to academia. So the conventional PhD programs are criticized, are not to as they don't equip graduates with enough skills to work and succeed in the industry. Well, program at a glance. So it's a 60 credit program, very much similar to other doctoral program here in Canada. It's a hybrid design, and that's what we mean. The hybrid design, it's the ability to, or the feature of integrating applied professional orientation with the rigor of a PhD program. It focuses on knowledge production, producing actionable and relevant knowledge. Knowledge production as opposed to, applying knowledge. At the master level, you learn, knowledge to apply it in your context, right? You learn theory, you learn concepts to take it and apply it in organizations. Here in the doctoral program, you produce knowledge, you produce theory, you enhance existing theory, and you produce concepts and tools that are helpful for organizations, industries, communities, and so on. The length of the program is 4 to 7 years. So the shortest version of the program is 4 years, and the longest version is 7 years. For those who spend, for example, they take 6 years. Does that mean they are late? No. 4 to 7 years, it's a normal, healthy period for the program. The program is a blended design, and that the blended meaning that they are the three on-campus residencies, and the rest of the program is very much online. And that gives the program flexibility, so you don't need to leave your family, leave your job and stay on campus. It's only you need to be on campus for the residency period. Now, the term residency, it's a period of time, 2 weeks or 1 week, you need to be on campus. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Cohort-based. So doctoral journey, as you may know, it's a very solo journey. You do it by yourself, you work by yourself. That's a conventional journey. Here you are part of a cohort, and actually beyond a cohort, you are a part of a community of researchers who will share with you their expertise, their knowledge, and so you will not walk alone. You will walk with a group of like-minded people. Yes, you may have different research, different topic, and you will have completely different journey, but you will have colleagues. Everyone will have different journey, but you all share the same aspiration and the same milestones in the journey. It's a competency-based program. So the focus is, as I said, it's a knowledge production, right? It's rather than the knowledge application focus. So it's a competency base. It's not about, you need to learn this and this and this. It's more about, you producing, contributing. We use the term contributing in the program, contributing to existing knowledge. So let me go through. I see here there's a question in the chat, but let me go through this couple of slides, and then I will take a pause and to address some of the questions that is on in the chat. So this is here the simplified structure, overall structure of the program as 4-year version, the shortest version, right? We said there are two versions. There's at it is 4 to 7 years. It's not two versions. There's so many versions actually, 4 to 7 years. But that is the shortest version. So in this shortest version, I hope you see my pointer here. I'm pointing to the phase 1, the DBA foundation. That's a 1 year. In this phase 1, you will do coursework, and you will have 6 courses, and these courseworks will focus on management theory and practices, research design, and there will be a course, 6-month course. It's what we call it area specialization, self-directed study course. You will work one-to-one with your supervisor, okay, to dig and learn the literature. So that's the first year. We call it foundation. That the goal of the first year is to prepare you to start research, right? And to give you enough information about research design and also as well to help you advance your initial research ideas. Everyone here will have research idea, right? I'm interested in this area. Then in the first year, you will have the opportunity to advance these ideas and come up with a little bit more solid proposal that will be due though in the second phase. So as you see here, after you finish the foundation, then the second phase is 1 year. We call it research preparation phase. Then you will do the candidacy exam. You will submit the final research proposal, and you will form a supervisory committee. And the last phase is the execution and writing, which is 2 years. During this phase, you will start the actual research. You will collect your data. You will analyze the data and start writing. Of course, you will be encouraged to participate in conferences and deliver presentations, and also you will submit your final dissertation and go through the defense process. So these are the 3 key stages. Now, what you see here, the not purple, it's red, reddish kind of thing, line there, this is called residency. So in the first year, you will have 2-week residency. right? In the second year, you will have 1 week residency. And then the fourth year, you will have 1 week residency. These residency are mandatory requirement. So doctoral students are required to come to campus here for 2 weeks in the first year, 1 week in the second year, and 1 week in the fourth year. These residencies are very much like a conference setting where you will present your research, you will be part of a conversations, a wider conversation, you will engage with faculty and peers in meaningful learning conversation. So all doctoral students will be there at the same time. We call it doctoral conference, actually. So around 80 doctoral students on campus, you will have opportunity to meet them. You will have your own space on campus, your own your office as a group. So to sit and discuss your research. So this is a simplified version. Now let me show you the this is not simplified, clearly. That's right. And that's what you will see online. So if you go online, you will see this, right? Now, let me explain this. You see the blue colors here? Is that blue? Yeah, blue color here. I'm highlighting. Hopefully you can see it. You see my pointer here, right? This is year one, phase one. You see my pointer? This is year one, right? And here you see the courses, 6 courses, MGMT 700, MGMT A705. These are the courses, and this is the timing of the courses, right? And once you finish the courses, then you will have year two. And year two is a research preparation where you will do your candidacy exam and do the proposal. And then year 3 and 4, again, this is the shortest version of the program, execution and writing. As I said, in the first year, you will have 6 courses, 2 courses about the development of management thoughts and practices, 3 courses about research design, and 1 directed reading course, what we call area specialization. So you work one-to-one with a supervisor through the course. You will have, as I explained, 3 residencies, 2 week residency, 1 week and 1 week. 2 week the first year, 1 week the second year, and 1 week in the fourth year. And these residencies are designed around workshops, disciplinary, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, knowledge-intensive workshops, professional development workshop, and scholarly-oriented workshop. So to put it simply, you will present your work, you will be part of other presentations. So it is a scholarly learning conversations that will take place during the residency. So a key milestone during the program, dissertation supervisory committee, comprehensive examination, candidacy exam, dissertation proposal, and dissertation defense. Let me just stop here and talk about each of these. Dissertation supervisory committee. So every doctoral student will have a supervisory committee that consists of principal supervisor, main supervisor, and 2 or 3 advisors. And that is for every doctoral student. And this will happen toward, I will say, the end of the first year. So you do not need to name your supervisor before you start the program. I'm going to repeat. You do not need to identify a supervisor as a condition to start the program. That's in a conventional PhD program. Here at Royal Road, we understand because we attract the professionals. So we understand that you need time to develop your research proposal and to get to know more about research and get familiar with the research design and feel comfortable, feel confident. And then we work with you on identifying supervisor. Now, supervisor can be Royal Road faculty, so it can be one of us faculty member who are working in the area that could overlap with your research, but also can be a faculty member from other universities. And that's a competitive advantage at Royal University. So for example, we have doctoral students who are interested in working with a specific faculty member, let's say in Toronto. That's still possible. And that faculty member can be your principal supervisor during your DBA program. Of course, there are certain conditions. So it's not any faculty will qualify. In order to qualify, a faculty member need to be at associate professor level according to Canadian standards, and they have active research agenda. Oh, of course, according to Canadian standard or equivalent, right? So they are different standard. Anything equivalent to associate professor level or full professor, and they will need to have an active research agenda. That's for the dissertation supervisory committee. Now, comprehensive examination, what we call the candidacy exam, and that is toward the end of the first, actually the beginning of the second year. So after you complete your coursework, there will be comprehensive examination. And that is not the examination the way you will imagine, the traditional ways that you sit in a room and there will be people watching over it. No, it's not like this. So basically, you will submit a report to your committee, and that report you will outline the literature that you reviewed. Your committee will review that, and then you will have a oral examination where you're going to meet with your committee online. I will be chairing that meeting as a program head, and your committee will have a conversation with you. So basically, it's an opportunity for you to discuss your research. Again, here, I always use the term colleagues because, doctoral students are our colleagues, right? In the DBA program, currently in the DBA program, 20-30% of existing DBA students are professors in other university and colleges in Canada here, right? They require to get their doctorate as a requirement in their institution. So they are colleagues and they are leaders in their industry. So the environment very collegial, and we make sure that it is a respectful, comfortable environment, so you can do your research and you can explore your own passion. So that's a comprehensive examination. Dissertation proposal. Now, dissertation proposal as a requirement for the program, you will submit initial proposal. We call it initial proposal. It's a 3 to 5 page. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that initial proposal in a minute. That's different from dissertation proposal, right? The final proposal, right, which will be based on the initial one, that's a 3 to 5 page. We talk about 8 to 10,000 words here. That is used in your second year. So you will have the time to advance your research, to review your research in the first year. And then you will do your candidacy exam, you know the literature, and then you develop your proposal. And at that point, you will feel comfortable to develop strong proposal. Once the proposal is approved, that is the stage when you will start collecting data, and you will start after data collection, you will analyze also the data. Dissertation defense, it's a final milestone, and when you will complete your dissertation and submit it to external examiner will review your dissertation and provide recommendation. Now, at Royal Road University, there are different options for the final dissertation. It can be the conventional book style dissertation, but also it can be a number of what we call dissertation by portfolio, number of articles. So you can produce 2 peer-reviewed articles or manuscript to be submitted for peer-reviewed journal, and in addition to 1 elective out of a number of elective. The purpose of this is to allow colleagues to really make impact on their industry. And that is our target. We are trying to recruit those who are really have the potential to make impact, to make change in their industry and field. And so far, we think we have been very successful. We have been recruiting, and we have exactly the right colleagues in the program that we've been trying to attract. So we've been very lucky for that. And and that brings me to the point of students who are our students. Those are working professionals who aspire to be leaders in their field or sector and want to independently develop original, impactful research on the practice of management and are normally working full time. Here, I would stop and just comment on this. And I did mention that, but I would like to highlight this. So we are looking for those colleagues who really can lead beyond organizations. You do your master to lead within your organization, right? You do your master to improve your career, you improve your salary or your grade or whatever it is within the organization. But you do your doctorate to go beyond that. You do your doctorate to become a subject matter expert, to build your currency in the field you're working in. So to be a leader in your field and to make that impact. And by the end of your doctorate, you will contribute to existing knowledge. And use this contribution will be your contribution under your own name. Other researcher will come and use that knowledge that you produce to build further knowledge. So the program designed for those working professionals. We understand that as a working professional, you probably have a lot of responsibility. You're working full time. You have family. You have parents. You have kids, and that is the case for all our doctoral students. The program is designed for working professional to allow a lot of flexibility within the program. That doesn't mean the program will be easy peasy and everything will be no, it's not. It will be challenging, but it will be rewarding, very, very rewarding. Royal Road University as an institution specialized in adult education. That's our specialty, right? This is our competitive advantage. We work with adult, we work with working professionals. That's the majority of our students. And based on that, we designed this program to accommodate working professionals. So I want to highlight this. So this is our student, and we require for student to have relevant master degree. So what does that mean, relevant master degree? Well, is MBA a relevant master degree? Yes, MBA is a generalist degree that applies. But what about if I have a master in, I don't know, in defense? Would that be a relevant master degree? Well, it is as far as your research is in defense. So you're researching something related to defense industry, for example, to military, and then that is a relevant master degree. We have colleagues who have masters in healthcare, and the research is within healthcare. That's a relevant. So my point here, don't filter yourself out. Reach out, connect with us, and we will let you know whether that's relevant. And we will have a conversation with you about your research topic. Colleagues, students coming from all walk of life, actually, coming from public, private sector, for-profit and non-for-profit, university faculty, as I said, private consultant, lifetime researcher. I mean, you don't need to be a full-time, working individual. We have colleagues who retired and they have passion. It's time for them now to really explore their passion. And that is an important piece here. So let me stop here before I move on and see if there's a question in the chat. Um, I remember so a question, right? A question to Hassan. Which all kind of industry are beneficiary of this program? Could you tell us a few global companies? Uh, um, so if I understand your question correctly, I think you are asking if there is a specific industry that your research should focus on. My answer is it depends. It depends on research. So as I mentioned here, we have colleagues doing research in financial industry. We have colleagues doing research in higher education industry, in military, and for-profit, and non-for-profit, in public sector, and healthcare. So it depends on your research as far as your research is in within the management area, right? Hopefully, I address your question, Raj, but thank you for the question. Uh, Georgina, can you please explain the cost of the program? Is it per year cost? Uh, 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 is it per year, a total cost? I'm missing a word here. So, Georgina, you asking about the cost of the program. Thank you. Important question. I think the cost of the program is, correct me here, Tracy, around 80 something, around 90,000, something like this. But that is over 4 years. So it's not per year. And there is an installment program. Tracy could talk about it more than me about that. So we understand this is a big investment. But to our knowledge and based on our experience with our existing colleagues, the financial investment has not been the biggest issue they're dealing with. It's investment, social investment, and it's a life-changing investment, actually, right? It's the biggest things you do in your life as a professional is to move from one level to the highest, to the top, to the top. And here I would like to highlight one thing. So based on our communication with our colleagues, we learned that there are a lot of funding opportunity and scholarship opportunities for doctoral students. So in the DBA program, I would say roughly, I don't have the exact number, but almost 50% of our doctoral students are either partially or fully funded. With I think over the last 4 years, the students were able to generate more than around, again, that's a rough number, around $1.5 million of fund collectively. And to the best of my knowledge, everyone is keen or has been keen to get funded, end up getting funded. That said, it is important to consider your own financial resources before starting this journey. That's critical and that's important, especially for the first year and perhaps the first 2 years. Even if you're planning to get funded, right, and you're planning to apply, it is critical that you have a plan P in case your fund hasn't arrived, or because funds or scholarships are competitive, and they're based on competitive process, and you would really need to apply several times, several funding opportunities in order to be considered. So, Georgina, hopefully I did answer your question. If I answer, please let me know. And if you have any further question, I'm trying to answer this question very transparently here. But if you have any further question, please let me know. Oh, here you go. Tracy answered the question, and that the fund is 89.464. That's a very particular, right? I, there's financial aid. Amin, is there any financial aid? I see Tracy here. They also answered this. Uh, oh, not yet, but yes, there's a financial aid, and that there's a website for financial aid that's available. Please feel free to check. And at Royal Road University, we have some internal scholarship. But again, there are many other opportunities, external funding opportunity for doctoral students. And that depends, of course, on your program and on how many you apply and how you apply and how mature your research is. So many factors. Sam say, thank you for a great time sharing DBA. Kindly share on the scope and scalability. Like, can it be country, regional, or global based in nature? Uh, Kindly share on the scope and scalability. Sam, I'm not sure I understand the question, but let me try to address it around scalability. And again, it depends on your research. So there are research studies in the DBA program around, let's say, international business. That's a topic by itself, right? We have colleagues who doing research in South Africa. We have one colleague doing research in South Africa. She is from South Africa, actually. We have colleagues based in Nigeria and doing research from Nigeria. We have colleagues from Ghana, I think. So it depends on the topic. It depends on the topic. It depends on the research context. I hope I answered your question, Sam. Okay. Let me move on here. Next slide. Here you go. Here is a picture of our 2023 cohort, right? 2023 cohort. Fantastic group. I was talking about someone in South Africa. She's here from South Africa. She's doing fantastic research. What I would encourage you to do, and that is very helpful, is to go and check our colleagues' bio, our students' bio. We have a dedicated website to feature our colleagues, their research, and you will have some part of that website. You will see their presentations as well. So feel free to visit that site. Sorry. Feel free to visit that site and explore our existing DBA students' bio. And it's very helpful to see the kind of research that is currently in the DBA program. I think Tracy will, here you go. Tracy just, posted the link to our student bio. Okay, student funding. So as I said, thank for the question, but I'm going to repeat what I said about the funding. So self-funding is one of the sources, and I always consider it as a plan B, plan A, whatever you call it. But we do encourage colleagues to consider their own resources before applying. And I do encourage colleagues to consider at least consider self-funding in the first couple of years until, even if they wanted to apply for a scholarship, even if they think that the scholarship is available in the first year, they need to consider the financial implication as they start with the program. Internally, we have a number of funding programs. We have a program called Entrance Award Program. This is for entry, for just as you enter, you will have opportunity to get funds up to $10,000. But again, that is very competitive, and normally there is 1 or 2 award or 3 award or 4, depends on the budget and every year. And that's one type of the award. Now there's another type called the bridging or scholarship or excellence award. So after you finish the first year, right, you have opportunity to apply to another program, and that depends on your performance in the program. And then you will have another opportunity to apply to a third program called the presentation award. That's based on your second year residency. And when you finish your candidacy exam, there is a 4th category of award called scholarship awards. So internally, we have 4 different programs of award, and that is for doctoral students specifically. But there are also internally some other general award as well. but I will consider this is limited, right? But externally, there are many external funding opportunities that you could look at. They're very common, the very common one, SHIRK. SHIRK is one of the government agency. For those who's not familiar with what is SHIRK, SHIRK is one of the government funding agency. Is highly competitive, highly competitive. There are certain program for doctoral student under SHIRK. You can apply to these programs. MITEX, you can see here under SHIRK MITEX. Now MITEX, it's also government-based program, but it is, I would say, less competitive. And we have an excellent record of success with MITEX. We have colleagues who have $160,000, I mean, more than tuition, right? We have colleagues, but MITEX would require to have a organization to support you, and then the government will match up organizational support. That's called MITEX Accelerate. I recommend, please feel free to explore the MITEX Accelerate program. That's one of the, I would say, most attractive programs for DBA students. Now, saying that there are many opportunities is not enough, right? We train you through the program to have skills to apply to grants. Now, for us, it's not only about to help you financially, because grants demonstrate that your research is valid, and it's a feather on your hat as a researcher that you've been able to attract grants to support your research. So for us, we train you. There will be training, part of the DBA program workshop. You will be asked to prepare mock application, and we will have feedback on that and so on. We have a fantastic, and it is in the chat, financial website, Royal Road financial website. It's I would say, friendly. So it lists, I would say, the most common awards, including internal award. Also, we have at Royal Road Office of the Research Services. It's a fantastic group of colleagues who support researchers at different stage of their career in getting awards. So how to apply, and it is at this point where I passed over to Ariana. But before I pass over to Ariana, do you have any question for me? So we can have the question toward the end as well, right, Ariana? Okay. So Ariana, over to you.
Thank you, Hassan. That was a wonderful overview. I'll just be going over some quick pieces on admissions and a little bit more on financial aid and how to move forward if you're looking to apply to the DBA program. So we'll get into that now. So admissions for the program require a relevant master's degree, as Hassan mentioned, from a recognized university, normally with a B GPA. So that's a 3 or a 4.33. And then normally a minimum of 7 years of relevant full-time work experience with 5 years at a management level and increasing levels of responsibility. And for this program, it is competitive admission. So something to note as well. And I just like to point out some key dates, but like Hassan said, just before I get to the end, sometimes I find we get to the end and people are furiously typing questions. So if you have questions while I'm speaking, please feel free to put them in the chat now, just so we have time to run through them at the end. So I just wanted to be proactive on that, but some key dates. If you're looking for the next intake, this is January 6th, 2025. It'll be here before you know it. The application deadline as well is October 6th, 2024. So still some time, but we encourage you to get those documents and things that you need going, of course, well ahead of the application deadline. So if you're looking at how to apply, like everything that I'm speaking about, the full details and more information are always going to be on our website, royalroads.ca. But just briefly, the online application fee would be the first step. That is $134.01 as of now. And then, sorry, Hassan, I see your microphone's off. If you have
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on the proposal.
Absolutely.
There is nothing. So as you mentioned, there will be some documents that you need to submit. I'm not gonna comment about the online application fee, which is a very particular 0.1, right? 1 cent. But I'm gonna comment on the one of the requirement here you could see on your screen. It is the initial proposal, and that's a 3 to 5 page. I think this is one of the most important, if not the most important requirement for us to know your research. And that will be the reason why we would like you to come to the program and would like you to do and we will support you. Also, we want to make sure that we are capable to support you. This is again a long-term relationship. So the proposal, I've always been asked, do you have a template, Hassan? I said, no, I don't have template. Your proposal is the template, and you're gonna create the template that allows for yourself. So what we expect in the proposal, and we will highlight that on the website, we expect to address a few points. One, the research problem. There will be a research problem. So you need to explain the research problem, research question, and you need to include key highlights from the literature, existing literature. Now, we normally run here workshops on proposal writing. I think there will be another workshops online for prospects, for those who are interested in starting the proposal process, and we will have that. I think they will be announced within the next couple of weeks or few weeks. But what I can offer at this point now, if you wanted to discuss your research, please reach out to me directly. If you have a question about your research, the topic, right? And you say, well, should we discuss this or discuss this? I'm interested in that area. Is it the right direction? Is it enough? Is it focused enough? So reach out to me and we will set time to have a conversation. And probably will ask you to produce a paragraph of writing first, or maybe we go through the conversation directly. The point is that we do that with all our colleagues who wanted to start a program. We understand, we appreciate the fact that you've been away from industry, from university, perhaps for quite a long time now, and you need time to get started again. And this is why we are willing to help you with that particular piece, the initial research proposal. Ariana, over to you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to expand on that.
Absolutely. No, thank you, Hassan. That's a wonderful overview instead of me skimming over it. Of course, in addition to the proposal, things like a detailed resume are important, just gives us an idea of your work history, and please be as detailed as you can with that. Of course, official transcripts, 3 letters of reference too, and they can be academic or professional, a writing sample, and there is an interview as well. And thank you folks for putting your questions in the chat. We'll get to those in just a moment. I just have another slide or two. Of course, we know, as Hassan's highlighted throughout the webinar, that going back to school in any regard, it's a huge step, right? So we did cover some financial aid and award information, but I just want to highlight at Royal Roads, we do have a number of resources that are available to you and for all students. So things like loans, bursaries, scholarships, and then the DBA entrance award as well. There's the link for that. And I know Tracy, thank you for popping that into the chat as well. So a number of funding opportunities. I love the financial aid page that we have because you can really search through the different opportunities and filter those through. So feel free to take a look at that. And then enrollment services, we have the wonderful Tracy who's able to join us today. So Tracy, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for popping the links in the chat with the relevant information. I know, Tracy, you put your email there, but if you do want to reach out, Tracy's email's in the chat, and I can include that in our follow-up as well. Or, of course, to learn more at royalroads.ca. And there's some phone numbers if you want to give us a call for local or toll-free for North America. So enrollment services, they really help you narrow down options, answer questions about your application, and they can also connect you with students and alumni. So with that, that is my last slide. So I know there is some questions in the chat. So Hassan, I will pass it back off to you at this point, just
Thank
to
you,
maybe
Rihanna.
answer.
Thank you. And I see here Tracy addressed almost all the questions in the chat. The last one about the template of the reference, and I see Tracy did send the response. No, there is no specific template. Now, that's one of the good questions. Uh, I think all the question about the processes of admission processes, a specific document. Tracy she's wonderful by all means, by all standards. She's a quick. So she will address all these questions about for example, the templates about for reference or the transcript and so on and so on. Now for research topic, as I said, I'm happy to discuss that with you further if you wish. I wanted to see here, we understand again, this is a big investment, this is a big decision. Um, and, uh, and we're here to support you, to help you make the right decision. So feel free to reach out. That's what we do, and that's what we enjoy doing. And so give us opportunity to help you make the decision. With that, if you have any question, I don't see any question here. Seems, let me just check here. Yes, there's no further question, right? Okay. Any further question? Okay, great. So thank you very much, colleagues, for the opportunity to meet you online, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you further and discussing your research ideas. With that, over to you, Ariana, if you have last word before we wrap up.
Thanks, Hassan. Yeah, that about wraps us up for today, but you'll see Hassan's emails in the chat, and I'll be sure I can include that in the follow-up for folks who haven't tuned in live, just so everybody has that information. But again, please, if you have any questions, do reach out, and we look forward. Hopefully there'll be a part 2 in the next coming weeks that's announced. So we'll be in touch with that, and hope to see you all there. Thank you all so much. You have a wonderful day. Take care.